Hi, everybody. Welcome to ZealZaddy. This is our Tales from the Loop and Things from the Flood campaign. It actually has a name. We never use it. It's Crosscurrents. Tonight we're on episode 12, Technology Day, one of the best days at school. Everyone has fun at Technology Day. If you want to play in CypherCon, I'm going to drop the link in chat if there are any games you want to sign up for. And we also released a new product this week called Slinge's Goons. And it is NPCs and ciphers and artifacts for Cypher System. I'm dropping that in chat. And I want to show something off on it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go to the 80s maps page where I show stuff because there is something cool that I want to highlight that I think is pretty awesome. And that is the work of our one and only Natalie Chenard, who did all these characters for it, did all the art, and they look amazing. I released some stuff on the socials this afternoon. I was just looking at the art going, man, those are so good. I got to show those more. So I just started showing them off. So it looks amazing. And it was all because of their excellent artistry. Let's bring everybody on, get them into the normal. Wait, wrong era. We're in the 90s. Although I think we may hit both tonight. Could be fun. All right, why don't we start with Sia? Let Sia do the damage first.
Yeah. Hope you all enjoy the art. It was fun working on it. Gave me some challenges. We had fun collabs, so make sure you check that out. As well as just check out my stuff. I'm Natalie. Find me everywhere on the internet with Ghost Candle or Ghostly Candle on Twitch and YouTube. Currently, there is a open casting call over on Girls Runs These Worlds for a little game of Babes in the Woods. We're doing a mini-series in which I'm going to be the narrator. So if you're interested in that and you like what Girls Runs These Worlds does, go check it out. It's going to be on Monday nights for little spooky Halloween times because it's a spooky Halloween time game. The form closes September 2nd, so make sure you get it in before then. But yeah, otherwise, I'm just here playing Sia, our lone wolf, troubled teen, who had been trying very hard to step into the reputation of don't F with me, get away from me. But under all of that, there's just that still a little bit of that tiny heart of gold starting to shine through again. Teenagers.
Yep. All right, Riker.
What's up, everybody? My name is Morgan. I'm playing Riker. You can find me on on the socials everywhere except on Twitter at MyPlayMondays. On Twitter, it's just MyPlayMon. I run a group of pro GM, so check us out, myplaymondays.com. Like I said, I'm playing Riker Wilds. He is the Karate Kid. He was an athlete turned street kid after some tragedy struck his family. His dad's been missing since the flood, and we got some bodies in this town that haven't been identified yet. So far, none of them are his dad, but we don't know. Plus, he spilled his heart out last week to Savage. So we'll see where that goes. And I'm just super excited to be here with all you guys.
And Hunter.
Hello. You can find me online at RoboSardy doing art and animation. You can also find me in Tiffany's game at Dungeon Damsels. It's a very fun, cozy D&D time. But today I'll be playing Hunter, aka Slinger, our lovable but really, really dumb jock quarterback. Didn't make playoffs, but he made it into the heart of his friends, except for maybe his legs. But he's still trying.
Yeah. All right, Adrian.
Hello, everybody. My name is TR Grimm. You can find me at most places on the internet as at empathic_Grimm. I am a game designer, game reviewer, and GM for hire. You can actually find me playing another game this week on Friday night for the Give me one second, pull the name up. It's for the Lionheart Multi-Aid Relief Fund. You can find me playing Cyberpunk Red this week for one of my old characters from there called Jean Jean. He's a tech. But more importantly, tonight I am here to play Adrian, also known as L, a troublemaker of a child who turned into a bit of menace to society in general. Depending on who you ask, unlike Sia's debatable heart of gold, there might not even be a heart inside Adrian. So, yeah.
All right. Ruben.
Hello, everybody. I am playing Ruben, who is just a quiet kind of loner trying to deal with people and friends and connecting and yeah. And because one of his friends, Vinny, trying to figure out the future too. So we'll see how that goes. But it's all going to go perfectly smooth and fine. Everything's going to be like the rest of the episodes. Everything's going pretty smooth. So, but yeah, so we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully hopefully it's going to be some fun.
And Finny.
Hey, I'm Tiffany. I play Serafina Schwartz, or Finny. She is the mayor's daughter and all-star volleyball player. She was dating Hunter, but she caught him. She was told about his cheating, and so the two of them have been trying to figure out how to not break the fan group apart and remain friends after this insurrection. And we're kind of figuring it out. We had our first sort of civil conversation last time. She also found out that her dad has been investigating the evil crafter and has exchanged information with him about that. He's currently holed up in their houses. The paparazzi is trying to hound him down since he was pegged with a what's it called?
A scandal.
Yes, scandal. I was like, a bad story. A scandal. And so she has to avoid the paparazzi now, and she's just trying to. Oh, she also found out that her mom probably cheated on her dad, and then there's the evil crafter, and there's a killer robot on the loose. So she's just got a lot that she's trying to totally not worry about and remain calm about. As for what I do, I do run a campaign that's a D&D homebrew. It's called Dungeon Damsels. It is super cozy. The last 3 episodes were the characters learning dance lessons and writing love letters. It's critically goofy and wholesome.
I'm in princess classes.
Yes, because Ellie, the wild child, had to learn responsibility. That's what you do with your chaos gremlins. All right, well, that's me. I look forward to playing with this group. We got a lot of talented people here.
All right, so at the end of the episode last week, you all took a photo with a Polaroid. Your first group shot in years. And you're like blowing on it, waiting for it to come to, and it comes out, and it is awesome. But it is pretty late.
I do have to say, legally, we have to say, you don't have to shake a Polaroid.
Nobody knows that.
It's the 90s. We all do it anyways.
No, I'm just, they got all mad about that when they came out with the song and they were shaking like a Polaroid. Like, the Polaroid came out, you don't have to shake them. So, I'm sorry. Just my brain, I'm going to go into that. I'm sorry.
We do it because we like to. So you take the picture, and it is now pretty late in the middle of the night. You're staying the night at Ruben's. What are the arrangements?
Riker left.
Yeah, I think that
Riker.
Riker and Hunter. I think Riker and Hunter went home, and it was just.
That's right. Hunter needed to get home, and Riker wanted to check on his mom and find out about anything about the bodies. What are the rest of you doing? Are the rest of you staying at Ruben's?
Serafina is. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, guess might as well stay.
Adrian.
Um, I'm actually gonna ditch. I want to do some checks on everything. There's stuff that I'm keeping an eye on, so
Okay.
But we're still
Uh,
keeping the buddy system though, right? But we're all still like budding, like we talked about like 2 episodes ago. We're gonna stick
so
together probably with people.
Oh yeah,
People's
like
gonna
so
remember.
I think that the easiest way to do that would be
All
buddying
three of you
up,
kind of go.
dropping Morgan off at the diner, Hunter, you
Morgan.
coming home with me, and then you
Right.
calling your father to pick you up from my place because it's late and you're trying to be responsible.
Who's this Morgan you referring to?
yeah, who's Morgan?
Yeah.
What's his
Riker.
nickname?
Why
Riker.
are
His
you guys
new
trying to drop
nickname.
him off at my mom's diner? It's really weird.
Drop Riker
Just a
off at his
cousin.
mother's diner.
Morgan's
Right.
not even a teen.
Right. I think that way we follow the buddy system.
All right. So I'm going to walk you through a few things that happen when you're out. You get to the diner. Your mom is working. It's late. And she says, "While you have a seat, I'll give you a milkshake or something." And the news is on, and obviously she keeps an eye on the news all the time right now, just to try and find out if there's anything going on. And there is a bit of a news report. They say that they've completed identifying all of the bodies, and they show the names on the screen. None of them are your father. And then they say, as we've been gathering information, the bodies were all we found through the police that the bodies were trapped by rising waters that have now lowered in a tunnel in the field behind me, and there's somebody on the screen. And that field is the field you remember from your video that Daniel had with the 3 robots. Oddly, there's only 2 of those robots in the field. And there was apparently a tunnel here that has a big 17 marked on it. And they say that this was a conduction tunnel that was used for both maintenance, but also for heat dissipation from the cooling towers when needed for when they were using the particle accelerator. And they show the field. There's cows out there and everything. And the names of the people come up, and there were 3 kids in that list. They show the ages, and the 3 kids all passed away with their one of their parents that was there, as they were there during the day when it was a normal day, and they were visiting with their parents.
Do we recognize any of the kids?
Maybe there was one 17-year-old, Kathleen Nilsson. You probably, what, just the name is probably well known at this point because she went missing after the flood.
Probably had like stuff on lockers too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and they're saying who all of these people are. That that she was a student, or her brother was a student. There was a physicist, a biologist, a psychiatrist, a theoretical mathematician, an energy engineer, an astrophysicist, and the VP of security.
It's a really weird combination of people.
I mean, if they were trying to run, I wouldn't be surprised if they
Actually,
were from different departments.
The other people also, I haven't gone over them, but one was an office administrator in a theoretical physics department. One was a security manager. One was a transdimensional physicist. One was a visiting physicist, and one was an administrative assistant from the physics department.
We have one physicist that's visiting from another country, and another one that came from another dimension.
No, transdimensional
No.
physicist. Hold on, wait a second. Isn't transdimensional physicist the same thing that Finney's dad was trying to look into?
Yeah, but we already knew that these people. Remember, we were talking about these are the people that were the names that her dad had. These are the same people.
Are these all
This
the
is how
same?
we knew about them.
No. I mean, I get that part, but did we? So was he looking? He was looking
He
to
was
their
looking
deaths.
in, and
Then?
when he saw that the names, he already knew who they were that had died
And
because he had that list ahead of time.
and your mom comes over to you and she gives you a hug, Riker. I don't know whether it'd be whether I'm relieved or not relieved at this. I don't know whether to say sorry or I'm happy for us.
Just leave it as it is. Still, it's just not answers.
Well, you ought to get home though, because you have school tomorrow, and it's isn't it Technology Day tomorrow?
Yeah,
That'll be fun, won't it?
yeah. I might, stay at one of my friend's house if that's all right with you. I just didn't want to leave without checking on you first.
Whose house you gonna be at?
Mine.
Adrian's. Okay. Yeah, I have your number.
And if you want to come by for a cup of coffee when you get off, you're more than welcome to. I mean, if you want to see him before anything,
When I get done here, I'm going home and going to bed. I'm already
makes
tired.
sense. All right.
And then she leaves. When she leaves, I don't know, man. I know you're saying like, yeah, if they all got washed together, but like if they were inside there, what are all those people from different fields in that area, that tunnel?
I mean, they could have all been walking around, going to different parts of the loop, or they could have just all been happened to be. I mean,
What did you say this tunnel was directly connected to the? What was it, Scott? You said it was direct. What they said this tunnel was directly connected to? It was
The cooling towers.
the cooling towers.
Yeah.
So these
Which
tunnels
those are
directed
those
to the
three
cooling
big
towers.
towers in the middle of the whole thing.
I mean, the loop's a giant circle. There are offices all around the loop.
Yeah.
They could have been going from one office to another, and when the waters came in, they just
Maybe.
went towards the closest exit, which.
Or what if they were inside
Yeah.
that place and were trying to get out and things went wrong and there's something in it that's connected to all this?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past that. I mean, do you also notice the missing robot on the screen?
That's what I'm saying. That's the same field. So
Yeah, it's
something's
just
going on.
missing a robot, and I think that our crabby friend might have been hungry for a snack.
Or maybe the robots out there found some way to bring it back online with the parts that they gathered from the police station.
I mean, I can do a check. I mean, I won't be able to do as big of one as I usually can if I was using the big computer, but I can at least surface check the feed coming from everything, see if there's anything from there.
We need the field in that tunnel need to be checked out when we can, but it's a little hot right now. I'm sure with everything that just happened, they're probably still
Yeah, I'd give
in
it
the area.
probably a week or two before it cools down enough for us to safely go out there.
But we do need to go out to that field. It keeps coming up. It's come up several times now. There's something out there. It's got to be.
Hunter, dare I ask, what do you think?
You're muted if you're, I think.
I mean, if you're able
There
to,
you go.
can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to get that stuff on, like, I mean, you don't have your usual setup, your little peer stuff, but yeah.
No, I mean, I can get a certain amount of information from my setup, but if I want actual access, I have to go back over to Savages again.
Oh, right.
Oh, speaking of, I need to call. Remind me, I need to call Rubenson. I need to coordinate with Savage about breakfast with her mother, so that'll be fun.
But you guys already
So
determined the
do
time,
that.
I think. I think you guys determined.
Yeah, but we didn't determine how we were going to meet up because I'm pretty sure she wants to go in with like the two of us together just to fuck with her
Gotcha.
mother to a certain degree. So
Speaking of parents, Hunter, how's everything at home, man? With everything that happened, how you doing?
I mean, things are surprisingly chill. I thought, like,
okay, hold on,
my
buddy.
dad would be, like, on my case a lot more, but he seems...
Your dad's usually on your case, right? When you mess up,
I mean, yeah. I mean, since I, like...
have you ever messed up
spent-
this bad before?
No.
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 This is more
This
of
is-
like he wants you to feel that he's so disappointed.
This
And he
is.
is. He's really.
You know
disappointed.
when Finney used to get really mad at you, and you would just think everything was great because there wasn't any talk about what was going on wrong.
Yeah. No. Wait.
Okay,
Oh.
can we
Oh.
There we go. There's the extrapolation. He's learning. I'm so proud of you. You know what? I raise my hand. Can we get an extra ice cream scoop for my friend over here, real quick? He deserves a treat.
All right. So, I mean, maybe I should try to apologize to Dad. I mean, I've
You
also
haven't
been like,
apologized to your father yet.
I mean, like,
Dad?
I kinda. I mean,
Okay, have you done a Hunter apology or an actual apology?
I mean,
You know
maybe
what I
kinda-
mean.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean.
I like like maybe like he's kind of like mutters himself, maybe like a Hunter apology.
I think you should apologize for sure, like a sincere one, but maybe share with what happened, why you did that night with him, if you feel comfortable, because he needs to know it's not who you are normally, like that you didn't just turn into this and he missed it overnight, man.
I mean, isn't apology like good enough?
No,
Like, I mean, that's like
not
slapping
for-
the band-aid
You
on.
tried to steal from your father's business.
Ah,
Hey,
I mean,
Hunter,
I didn't actually steal from her yet, though.
Did
No,
you
you're
make the
right. You're
attempt?
right. No. Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
trying to be
L,
better,
you're
right,
right.
buddy? Okay,
Yep.
thank
Gonna
you.
try to be better. Like,
Proud of
take-
you.
take
Proud of
a-
you.
Take a large slurp.
Proud of you, buddy.
apologize while you have a chance. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
No, yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah.
I mean, I'd give anything to talk to my dad.
I'd give anything not to talk to mine, so not in the same place, but
Just
but
saying.
we're
Yeah,
also
but
in
you're-
very different positions.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be talking to your mom
Not
and
no.
Sia's mom.
See his mom.
Huh?
Wait,
Well,
Hunter, hold
I'll
on.
t-
You do know that they're not like full brothers; they're half, right? You know what that means? Like, they
He knows. He has to know what half siblings mean. He has to know what
Yeah,
half
no,
siblings.
I know what half siblings is, but like this is like a huge like revelation, right? I mean,
You are how. Ooh. How did you not?
like
I
looking
look
around,
over. I
like,
look over at Riker. You've known since we mentioned since our parents both ran off, right? When the undertones of everything going on, you were paying attention to that, looking over at Riker. No idea. This was a revelation for you too.
No, I'm saying he didn't know. I'm saying no. He.
No. I'm looking at Riker. I'm like, you knew, right?
Yeah, I knew. I'm
Okay.
saying he doesn't know. You're
I
like,
just wanted-
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah,
no, he
that-
doesn't.
yeah.
Oh no, I
Riker
know
did
that he
know.
doesn't know. That's different. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
screw situation, man.
The gas station by my house, the night dude doesn't card after midnight. Do we want to grab each one of us grab a tall boy and just relax in my place until we pass out?
I don't want to drink.
No.
I'll light up.
I
don't
need
wanna drink.
for what
You
I'm
can get one
going
on
to
me.
be
I'm all
doing.
for walking with you over there. We can go.
All right.
I
If
mean,
you guys
last
don't
time
mind,
I got
need-
a tall boy, I went to prison. So I mean, I
you
gotta,
did not go. Oh,
And you try to kill somebody with the bottle, throwing it.
that
at
is true. You did try to kill somebody with the
I
bottle.
didn't try to kill her. She said
I mean,
she
you
said
did
that
hard
she
time,
was open.
right. He did hard time.
Oh,
Attempted murder.
It wasn't murder. She has
I mean, if you
black
want, we
eyes.
could
We said it was
Spread that.
attempted. I mean, we could go that you were an attempted murderer if you want us to. Put some actual respect on your name for your. So, where did you go again?
You did prison
I went
time,
to the
right?
yeah. I did prison time at the police station. It's just
That's not the same thing. Again, there's better than 50% odds at this point that I'll be writing you from prison at some point soon. Being entirely honest.
Nah, you can get away.
Not after the last hack I did. I fucked around and crafted this database real bad.
Probably not your smartest move.
I was mad about what they did. I made a mistake, but on the plus side, shit should be hitting the news tomorrow.
All right, Well, let's go get you the tall boy. I'm not drinking, but I'll light up and chill.
I'll have my one as I go and
I'll
cruise
chill a
everything.
little bit, but like gonna be straight edge. Gonna as soon as I get home, apologize to my dad, and you know what? He's just
We're gonna go pick up his tall boy. Good. We're gonna walk you to your house, drop you off, and we're gonna go back to his place.
Yep.
So that way you're completely sober, no chance of
no chance of anything, no chance of carryover high from anyone.
Yeah.
Keep it straight. You won't even smell like cigarettes, we promise.
Hunter, just promise me you're not gonna be like, everything's cool, right? Like really dig.
Like actually ask your father what's going on and how he's feeling about it. And
okay.
This is something that you've been working on, and I'm really proud of you for how hard you've come. Be honest and be real. Don't put the slinger persona on for your father. That's not going to help with this. Yeah. Be Hunter.
And you remember how, like, when I told you before with Finny, like, hey, talk to her, and you're like, hey, everything, and she said everything was good, and you just everything was good.
Everything's not good.
Yeah. When they say that everything's good, everything is not good. Yeah, I got it. It's oh god. There's a lot of thinking happening. There's a lot of things I gotta like factor in.
I am proud of the steps you've made to get this far, and I believe in you. I honestly believe in you, my friend.
You got this, man.
I think this is the first time you're being genuine.
You got this, man. You gonna leave me hanging, bro?
Yeah, and I like this bump.
Yeah.
All right, let's go get me a tall boy, and I won't even pop it open until we drop you off. I'll just have it in my pocket.
You get your tall boy, you drop off Hunter, and then you head home. Hunter, you get in, and your dad is at the kitchen table, and he's got a bunch of papers in front of him, and he's writing something on some weird, complicated paperwork, like work stuff all the time.
Yeah, I like kind of like peek my head into like his room, and I just like kind of like knock on the wall, like,
oh, you're home for this week, huh?
Yeah, gotta hit those books, and I like wave the book that he gave me.
I'm impressed. You're carrying it.
Yeah. Hey, Dad. Before I hit the sack, is everything all right? Is everything doing okay, Dad?
I'm running a business, trying to keep a roof over our heads and food on the table, and I'm succeeding at those things at the moment. So everything's okay. What about you?
Words percolating in his brain. He's like, when they say you're okay, you're not really okay. Just
you okay? You look like you're gonna throw up or something.
No. No. Just it's a late night. I'm about to just about to hit the hay. Yep. Right. And like as I'm like going upstairs about to go to bed, the words rolling in the back of my mind from both like Elle and Riker, it's like and I just like if we have like a second story, if we have like stairs and stuff, like my dad would hear the like running back down the stairs.
Right.
Hey, Dad.
You need a ride to school tomorrow?
Yes, yeah, I do. But
right.
it's not that. Hey, listen, I really messed up. I messed up big time.
Today?
And no, not today. You know, like all the stuff with your store, me going to prison.
Yeah, you really did mess up then. That's true. I will concur with you.
and I want to apologize for that. I was going through a lot. It's honestly, it's no excuse, but at the time I was angry, I was confused, and I took it out on everything that I really shouldn't have.
Angry about what? And he stands up, you know, from his table, from his desk. Angry about what? You had a good job, you could get around in your car, you had a great girlfriend.
I mean, that was the thing.
You were even passing in school.
Yeah, me and Finney broke up.
Well, that may be the biggest lesson you've had from all of this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. She was a good girl, and I think she actually did you right.
Yeah,
It kept you
and
more on the straight and narrow than anybody else from the past did.
Yeah, I took her for granted. And, was literally paying for it that night. So
You know, they have church for that. Maybe we ought to go to church one of these days again on a Sunday morning, and you know, you can pay your penance in ways that don't get you arrested or get you to do things that are criminal.
But Dad, I'm like saving up. I can't be paying penance to like church or whatnot.
Yeah, you're saving up something. Well,
I mean, yeah.
and he takes a few steps closer to you. His arms are still crossed.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I guess we can go to church or whatever.
You know, I know that you're going through a lot right now with all your friends, and since the flood, I think it's been stressing everybody out in this entire place. And I haven't really been going to all of the games like I should have, and I've been trying to make sure that things are taken care of. It's been stressful on everybody. That's not me giving you an excuse for what you did. It's just me helping give you an understanding of where everybody is around here right now. We're all under a lot of stress. And one of the most important interpersonal skills you can have is not taking your stress out on your friends and family. It's a pretty powerful thing to be able to hold yourself accountable and take into account the feelings of others around you. And it sounds like you're actually doing that right now.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot senior year. So it's probably the big one.
Senior year, that's right. At some point, we got to talk about college, because this is the year we got to start figuring out what you're going to do. If you want to do college or whatever you want to do.
Oh yeah,
now's not the time though.
Yeah, no, we could talk about that.
You're going to stay out of prison, right?
Yeah, Dad. Yeah, I've learned my lesson.
You're going to.
I mean, if you've seen the things that I saw, oof.
And he takes his arms, unfolds his arms, and he comes over to you, and he goes like to give you a hug, and you feel his hand go to your forehead instead of to the hug. Oh my gosh, you're actually well. And then
What, you thought I was sick? Did you thought I was contagious?
And then he gives you a hug, and he's like, wow, I wasn't sure if this was real or you were just delusional from being ill or something, and this seems like the real thing. Well, congrats, you're becoming a person.
And I'm just like kind of thinking to myself, like, what does he mean about me becoming a person? It's like, Thanks, Dad. Kind of
Yeah.
do like the
Have
awkward,
you-
like kind of
Have
double
you been reading
pat.
that book? Because it sounds like you've been learning from that book.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I've been like reading the book, folding all the ears.
Oh,
That's what you
wow.
do so you don't lose your place.
Yeah, if it's an inexpensive book, you don't do the expensive ones, but it's a paperback. You're good with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what are you gonna do to win Finney back?
I don't think there's no winning back, but the
Wow.
best that I could do right now is just be a good friend to her,
Oh,
be
my
the
God.
friend that I should have been.
Actually, it sounds like you do know how to win her back. All right.
I don't-
Well,
I don't think there's gonna be much winning.
all right. Well, when you see her next, tell her I said hi. She's welcome over anytime she wants.
Yeah, yeah.
She's cool.
Hey.
Actually,
All right.
all your friends are cool. Maybe except Adrian. He's a little rough on the edges, but you know.
Yeah, she's cool. She's a real superstar.
And you're Slinger. Congrats on your speech to the team. I heard it was really good.
Yeah. Fortunately, we didn't make playoffs, but
And he puts his hand
You
on
know-
your head and he goes, except for Joey. So, all right. Well,
yeah.
I got some things I got to get done for tomorrow morning, but I'm glad that you came in to talk to me. Thank you for that.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
I hold him in a brace again and hug him. Are you really doing okay?
I'm doing okay. We'll be all right. You should check in on your friends. Not just me.
All right.
You know,
Good night.
I mean, Riker, missing father. There's a lot of tough stuff going
Oh,
on.
he's
among
got a
them.
job, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be working at the old dojo that we went to as kids.
Wow. Tell him if he needs
Yeah.
a new gi or anything, I'll give him a discount.
Oh, yeah, of course. And he invited me and the rest of the guys over too, and he's gonna teach me a thing or two. But I'm Slinger. I got all
You
the
teach him a thing or two back. Reciprocate.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, you're going to be learning so much this year. It's going to be a good year for
But-
you.
But yeah, no, you're right about Riker. He's probably had it the hardest, like with his dad. Like he got like stood up on a date. Just all this.
He'll lift himself up by his bootstraps from that. That's not a big deal. He'll be right back. Y'all are
Yeah.
tough.
Like that's what like I was trying to tell him. I can't really tell him because my advice is not the best advice given.
Not yet. Maybe it'll be soon.
Think so? You think I'll be like a real like love guru or?
Son, you know who Carl Jung was? Oh my gosh. I'm going to tell you some more reading to do maybe if you want. Read some of his works. He was a psychiatrist or psychologist. And he taught about individuation and becoming your own person. Really interesting stuff. Y'all are doing that now because that's what you do when you're a teenager for the most part. You try and find yourself and find out who you want to be. I hope you
Into
find...
Jersey ration.
I'll write it down for you later.
All right, cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got to get to hit the hay because you got school in the morning, and I got to get up a little early. So.
Yeah. Thanks,
right.
Dad.
And
I mean it.
And he rubs your head on the way
God,
out.
stop.
Don't worry, it didn't look good anyway.
What? Styled it so it's like perfectly messy.
And he laughs and turns goes back to his desk and starts working again.
And okay, I'm gonna do just a small little thing before going upstairs. I'm just gonna peek around the corner and just observe my dad for just like a minute as he's like doing his like paperwork and just kind of see how he's doing.
Yeah, he's got a calculator out and he's writing some stuff, calculate. And he seems very conscientious of stuff. And maybe for the first time you realize he pays a lot of attention to a lot of things.
That's real brainiac. Go back upstairs.
And we
Go to
cut
sleep.
across. Oh, sorry.
No, you could.
Adrian, you get home. And when you get in, you sit at your computer. The next image is showing up on your screen. I'll drop it in Discord.
You don't care if I light up here, right?
No, go ahead, man.
All right. What you working on?
I sent, making it simple, I made it so that the LoopNet sends my computer periodic. So, do you remember how the machines were using the dragonflies as cameras?
Yeah.
I have it set up so that periodically I'm getting some of those camera shots sent to my computer.
And they don't all come from the Dragonfly. You're not sure which nodes they all come from.
Right. I know that some of them come from the Dragonfly. I know that some of them come from other things. I don't know what's coming from where. I'm trying to put some sort of pattern to this. I'm trying to, in the end, prove that the code is growing in a way that is mirroring organic growth.
And when you look at the screen and you're talking to Adrian Riker, you see this image on the screen. Here, I'll drop it in Discord for you too. And it is just finishing coming up, as a matter of fact. It takes a long time for each image to draw, so it can take a long time.
Is that like somebody in a scuba suit?
And that looks like the kind of emergency suits that your dad sometimes used.
That's an emergency suit, actually. See how the hose is connected? That's not actually underwater.
Yeah, no.
It could be underwater. You don't know.
Well, the suit's not designed for prolonged underwater usage, at least.
That looks like the stuff my dad used to wear.
And there's a 17 on the shoulder of it that, as you're looking, you realize that's the section of the security zones that your father used to work.
Tunnel 17?
Not tunnel.
17?
No, it was section 17.
Yeah,
but the tunnel that was shown earlier had a big 17 on it, so maybe it was connected. Who knows?
Hey, wasn't your dad?
He works section 17.
Did I, when I was doing my thing, did I configure it to send coordinate points from where the images were coming from, or did I forget to do that?
You didn't know how to access it. You weren't sure whether
fine.
it was even being done. Maybe it was,
fine.
But you just don't know. You didn't have time to kind of work through.
I didn't have time.
Yeah, but what about that door? That door right there that he's working on. Have we seen doors like that in places, Scott?
You haven't, no.
Would I have if I ever went in with my father to the loop?
No.
Okay. Does it look like a reactor door?
It's a pretty heavy door, whatever it is.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. That could have been towards one of the cooling towers. That's a shut-off door, that's for sure.
I think it's really weird that those people were found in Tunnel 17 and my dad was in Sector 17.
I mean,
he would he know if those are connected, Scott? Since his dad worked there and all that stuff, and he's gone to there, would he know if those sections are connected, like of the tunnels, tied to the sections?
They might have been. Your dad would probably occasionally mention, what he was doing in different sectors. He moved around within Section 17 all the time. And
I
each
mean-
of the sectors was really big.
It's possible. What I would next time I'm over at Savages, when I pull up the loot map, I'll go ahead and I'll do a check to see if access quarter 17 is actually part of section 17. If so, that gives us a starting point to look. If nothing else.
And you can tell he's listening to you, but he's just really staring at the photo, like trying to look in that mask to see who that face is. It's clear you can't see it, but he is.
Do you want me to
straining.
do you want me to do a printout for you of it? I'm gonna need to change the screen soon, but I can do a printout for you if you want me to.
Let's do a printout, because regardless of who it is, I mean, maybe there's some detail that we catch later.
And even if it's not your father, it's one of his people.
Yeah.
It's closer than anything else we've gotten so far.
Is there anything in the image, Scott, that might tell me if it is my dad?
Not anything that is more than what you see that you're already kind of gleaning from it right now.
I mean, it's a bigger guy, and your dad was a bigger guy. I'm not putting it past it. I'm going to go ahead and print this out for you. Then I'm going to go ahead and do a check on the forums, and then do a check on the email real quick.
Okay. On what email?
The agent's email. See if I've gotten a response.
And you did get a response. And the response is very short. It says, "We can talk tomorrow at school. I'll set a room aside to talk."
That's what I
thought it was going to be shorter, just 2 words.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, that's actually better than... So if Morgan is still looking over Adrian's shoulder, he would see the email string, and you would see the "I'm willing to make a deal."
Well, what's up with this, man? What are you... Are you about to do something stupid? I mean, I've done something stupid. Hunter's done something stupid. Like,
I've done plenty of stupid things. This is actually...
Yeah, the Chris stuff is one.
Okay, the Chris stuff is definitely one. And this is protection for me from the Chris stuff. I have enough of a skill that I am banking on the U.S. government preferring me to work for them than just putting me into a cell somewhere and letting my skills not help them.
So you're trying to see if you can get a job because you've like kicked their ass hacking.
I'm trying to see if I can get a job because that'll protect me if Crafta figures out who I am.
Well, make sure they pay you, even though they're protecting you.
Oh no, this is the kind of thing where I'd be making a lot of money.
You know what you should do? You should take anything that you've gotten image-wise or any of the stuff that's like weird about this, because what if they're looking into Crafta too?
Oh, I already have a file of all that stuff set aside for this, and
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to print it off because the dude who I'm actually talking to is kind of a Luddite. And he prefers paper files, which honestly, he's not wrong. Going paper and locked file is more secure than putting anything on a database these days, because people like me exist. So this is saying that this is if I don't just walk into that room and there's a fleet of armed people there waiting for me.
We have rules now with our group. Over by yourself, do you need somebody to just kind of? I mean, I don't have to go in the room with you, but stand out the door, or at least I don't know. I'm just saying, do you want
I'd
some backup?
walk me to the door, but walk past the room. I don't want anybody getting wrapped up if they do decide to put me in cuffs. But then you can at least see what's going on and let everybody know that I'm okay. It's not like Crafta got me or something.
All right. Okay.
So
Where's the brownies, bro? I need some brownies and watch some TV and fall asleep.
I reach over to my mini fridge, pop it open, pull out the tray of brownies, and slap it down next to them.
Over at Ruben's, your mom comes up and says, "All right, I got blankets for everybody. Let's get you all all situated. I want to make sure you're comfortable. Do you like a heavy blanket or a sheet, something lighter? We have hard pillows and soft pillows. What are your preferences? Just let me know and I'll make sure you're taken care of.
What? I never thought about comfort preferences.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll bring both. You can pick what you like and until you're comfortable.
Well, I prefer a heavy down blanket with a 1,000 thread count, but
Are you two okay?
anything you're willing to give us is wonderful.
Are you two okay being in the bed in our guest room?
Yeah, I mean, we've
both
slept
be in the same
in rooms
bed.
together before.
Yeah, that's fine.
And she looks at you, Ruben. She goes, "Have you been messing with the clothes in my closet or anything, Ruben? I saw some things out of place, and I'm missing a few things. I'm not sure what happened. If you Your father said he didn't mess with any of them.
Nope, I have not been in your closet,
All right.
Mom.
I'll find it. It was just a wig and a dress. I'm not sure where they went to, but
It's if I do
know
find
what-
them though, I will. If I do see them though, I'll make sure to give them back to you.
okay. Well, nighty night. I will see you all in the morning.
Thank you.
Do you want to ride to school in the morning? I can take you.
Well, I gotta get up early I'm meeting up with Mom for breakfast for a continued talk.
Oh wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
I will graciously accept a ride to school. Thank
All
you.
right. So it'll be the three of us. Well then, good night, Sia, Serafina, and good night. I forgot your character's actual first name. Is it Sia or is it something longer?
No, it's
Ambrosia.
Ambrosia.
Ambrosia. That's what it was. Ambrosia. This is good night, Ambrosia.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
Dr. B.
And she says, make sure that you leave the light on in the hall, okay, Ruben?
Yes,
And she
I will.
heads downstairs. And, it's late. It's not like ridiculously late. You do have school, and you hear the turtle banging on the inside of the thing, kind of trying to get to some lettuce that had fallen around the rock in there.
Hey, she looks at both Ruben and Sia. I'd like both of your opinion on something.
All right.
So she stands there a little awkward and then just sits on a chair or something. I'm not good at asking for help, but I don't know what to do with my team because I'm supposed to pick someone to replace me. And Ashley she's good technique and she's a loudmouth, but she's also kind of a bully. And the other girls have been pretty much cowed by her. And I'm not sure if I want her as my replacement. And I'm also not sure that even if I pick someone else besides her, it would make a difference because everyone else has already yielded to her.
Well, I don't think anyone can really. Does it really matter? I mean, no one can really replace you. I mean, yes, there'll be someone else, but they're not going to be of your caliber. So, at the end of the day, I mean, they can be whoever.
Yeah, the way I see it is it's not about who has the most physical skill, it's about who can rally the team. And if she can't rally the team because they are too scared of her, that's not beneficial because a team shouldn't be absolutely frightened of you. You see, Finny, you have a presence that can scare people, but you also have a lot of respect. And it's that respect that rallies your team, which is why they're always willing to like go around you. And I don't think she has that.
Yeah, and I agree with that, but if not her, then like who else?
I don't know. You could always do internal tryouts. You got to show that not only do they have the volleyball skills, but the skills to lead the other members, and everyone has to go through it.
Like an interview.
Yeah.
Okay, so like we have trial runs of like how we would do like a practice and a trial, like how some practice, yeah, like how someone would run the practice in place of me, or how they'd run the team in place of me. Okay, so like trials in the actual skill set.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
Goodbye, go.
yeah.
And she looks at Ruben
You-
like,
Do you think it's going to come down to that, of you having the next person up?
I mean, I'm graduating, so yeah.
True.
Can't be here forever. I just want my team to be taken care of.
I mean, things will work out. They also gotta think about how to take care of themselves and each other too.
Yeah. At one point, you gotta kick him out of the nest. So. Okay. Well, I told him I'd make a decision at some point, so I didn't tell him what it was, though.
No. And it seems like the most fair.
Yeah. There's no way to assess their skills until I've actually seen them. So, are things cool with you and Riker?
And I
Do
kind
you
of
need
like
me to leave
glance
while
at
you guys
Ruben.
talk about this? I gotta go a thing.
I mean, I'm fine if you're here, Ruben. It's up to see if she even wants to talk about this at all. You don't have to.
As you're saying, this room is already like walking out of the door. Ruben's
I
already
mean,
just walking out.
Ruben, what do you know? What do you even know?
I mean, I had an inkling that he may have liked you, I guess, in that aspect.
Did everyone know that before he even approached me? Like, what the hell?
Just kind of the way he looked at you, and the way he would kind of speak
he's
sometimes.
He's not that obvious. We just know him.
So I'm
don't
just
be
that
embarrassed.
oblivious. Cool.
I mean, in
Hey.
your defense, a lot's been going on. So, I mean, how would you? I mean, a lot of big things have been happening. So,
Yeah, and I mean, when people are close to you, it's easy for them to like just sit under your nose, and you don't really see them in a different light until they step out.
Yeah. Well, he did talk. He did actually clarify that it wasn't just hanging out. He was hoping it to be more. And I just admitted that I have a hard time liking myself right now, so it's hard for me to even think on that kind of level of relationship. Especially given how jaded I see relationships with everything that went down with my own family. So
Yeah, and Finny just gives a like nod. Yeah, I get that.
I mean, I said it's not a no. It's just a I don't know.
I think that's fair. I just don't want you to not talk about it. So I know what not talking about stuff can do.
Well, when I don't talk about it and I pull up my book, I write about it.
You wrote about Riker?
No, not Riker.
Mhm.
No, just my songs and poems and stuff. Which we got to figure out that music video. And I like flipped the page to the song I was writing.
Oh, all right. What's this? What's the song about?
Well, this ended up being part of my tirade writing after that phone call I had with my mom. So this was one of the songs after it. I could read at least the chorus. I got a few verses in a chorus. So here's the chorus. Maybe we'll spark some inspiration for you. And like now she's getting nervous having to, because she's never read outside of like Ruben, having heard a little bit of it when we're talking music and stuff. She hasn't read anyone else her poems or songs. All right, so here's the chorus. These blackened waters rage, for this has become your stage. You've tossed your love into a cage, a sacrifice for a new age. With all of your craze, you believed in your grace. Once you've measured the stakes, you will soon know how the waters taste.
You get like a little like a snap to that. That's really good.
Hey.
That's
And that's just the chorus. I got more, and I turn the page and show like there's actual 2 columns of text. A little bit more of a new punk once we figure out the music and apply to it, but yeah, because I like performative poetry.
nice. Yeah, I can get behind this.
I got a couple riffs in mind I can show you. Then you can pick whichever one you think fits it better. Fits it best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start getting some sort of idea of what we want the music video to be about. Do you want to be like in the video? And I look at both of them.
And I guess as a singer I should be, right?
Well, not necessarily. There's lots of music videos where they don't show the band at all. And it's just a
That's
creative
true.
idea.
Very like abstract-y.
Yeah, I mean, we can go abstract, or it could be like a song story video.
I definitely wrote this as an evolving song, so it could work.
What do you think, Ruben? It's your band.
Yeah, we still got to pitch it to the rest of them.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be with lyrics like that. I don't see it being much of a problem. And I like it. I mean, it has a very, I don't know, just it's not to say in the wrong way, but I guess emotional, but in a good way. You know what I mean? Like it has a punch to it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I think I have a couple riffs that would work for that as a kind of the punky feel, kind of fast, a little rough.
And you all talk music and everything through the night until it gets pretty late and your eyes start to get hold for long periods. And then you wake up, see ya early, almost like your mind had a clock set. Adrian, you get up from the couch early, almost like your mind had a clock set. Maybe it was the sun coming in right into your eyes at the same time.
I like the idea that maybe Sia and Adrian's routine of getting ready for this is almost very parallel to each other. So it's almost like a smash cut between the two, as opening the doors, opening up medicine cabinets, that kind of stuff. It's very similar all the way down.
And you both have somebody in the room that I'm assuming,
working
don't
around.
Want to wake up, so you're trying to be quiet, trying to keep the light from coming in anymore, and all that stuff while you shower or dress or whatever you're gonna do. You throw on your members only jacket, Adrian.
Does that still fit?
Yeah, it fits, of course.
I was 11 when I got it.
Yeah, but you were big at 11.
That's fair.
You kind of stopped growing at like 12, 13 and just stayed big.
Yeah, that's true. So
Actually,
that's
you don't have to throw that on. You can throw on. It's
right.
It's the 90s. You probably don't want that one. Actually,
probably not. No, he's
bad.
throwing on a open white collared shirt with a just some sort of black shirt underneath it, jeans that are rolled up to show off his metal leg as he's walking out. Because he's at home and can choose what he's wearing.
And you go up the stairs because you're in the basement. So
Yep.
you go down the stairs at the same time, kind of crossing each other's paths in the cuts. You step out, and it's kind of there's a little bit of a light fog in the air for the first time in a while, and you head to the diner, and you arrive at the diner at about the same time, and both from opposite sides, you arrive at the door together, and you walk out of the mist to each other.
So how you want to play this?
I honestly have no fucking idea. So we'll play by ear.
Want to really fuck with her and go brother sister in this shit?
Ugh. Shut up.
I'm done. You give me the one. Give me the one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never said this, or I don't say it enough at least. You are one of the best people that I know, and I'm proud of you for doing this.
I'm gonna keep telling people how sad it is that I am that, but everyone keeps telling me no, it's true.
It's not, actually. It's actually not as sad as you think it is. That's okay. I'm a horrible person. You can say it.
No. You like to put yourself there, but you're just in the position of you try and do the right things with the right intentions, but
I go about it the wrong way.
yeah.
Yeah, well.
Gotta think a little bit more.
Nah, thinking switch from my father and my father. I refuse to be that. Opens the door.
Oh, I understand that. I guess we'll find a spot and at
We
least
go in.
get coffee.
Are you both coffee drinkers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you drink
Yes.
the same kind of coffee?
Probably.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. And the waiter comes and pours turn your cups over, pours the coffee. What can I get for you?
We're just waiting on a third, but
Okay.
If she shows up, sips his coffee.
All right. I'll come back in
What's-
a bit then.
What's our over under on that, by the way?
yeah. I mean, if she really wants to prove herself, she'd show up.
This is kind of the make or break.
Yeah. I mean, she's gonna have a lot of those moments because she's lied and betrayed for years. Can't really walk that
Yeah.
back.
No, but she cannot fuck up the first one.
No.
Sips the coffee.
And you sit there for a little while, and you were a little bit early, so you definitely don't expect her to show up early. And it hits the time when you're supposed to meet at 7 a.m. or 7:30, whatever it is, and she's not there yet. So you wait.
5 minutes and we go. And now,
10.
like, her stone is face is getting very stoned.
10 minutes. You know how she is. She could have just gotten wrapped up in a project for a minute. If it's important, she'll pull herself out. We'll give her 10.
Fine.
My dog just pooped, and you can tell because he goes running through the house like a victory parade. So,
You let the dog in the diner.
Right.
and you wait 5 minutes, and she's not there. And you're literally watching the seconds hand on the clock kind of go round, and the minute goes up and round. And then the diner door opens, and she's there.
Like I said, 10 minutes.
And she looks a little ragged. Like maybe she's been up all night, who knows. And she comes over. I'm sorry, I'm a few minutes late.
Yep.
And
Morning, doctor.
and she has a case with her, like like a soft case or something, leather.
Were you working through the whole night?
Yeah, I've been working, and she's kind of looking outside. It's a little foggy out there.
Adrian goes ahead and flips her coffee cup over and makes her coffee the same way Adrian's and Sia's is.
And she sits down on which side? She sits down on Adrian's side so that she can face Sia. I'm assuming you were sitting across from each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
To make it extra awkward for her to choose where to sit. And
Right.
she has a hat too, by the way. And she sits down, and she doesn't take her hat off.
Are you in disguise or something? Or
Well, I mean, the FBI is all over the city right now, so.
Mm.
No, everything's okay. Everything's okay.
For now.
And she sets her bag down on the next to the desk. I've been thinking about all this stuff, and I want to make sure that we improve our communication. So
okay.
I'd like us to go to therapy together. Especially
Okay.
when I'm in town. I would really love to have your brother here too at some point.
Yeah, you do owe Cassian a lot.
I want to apologize for my infidelities.
I think that one is more for Dad than me.
It hurt everybody. Everyone here, your father, your brother. Nobody went unscathed from any of it. And she looks kind of down the street. Adrian, I have a question for you too.
Of course.
It's not about the other stuff. It's about what you showed me on the computer yesterday. How did you know how to do that stuff? I mean, I know kids your age love like computer games, like don't you play Doom and things like that? I think that's one of the popular ones, right?
Yeah, I beat Doom in under an hour. It's not that hard of a game.
And Sim City too, right? That's people like that, I think too, right?
I broke the code on that one within 2 hours of grabbing a hold of it.
It kind of freaked me out that you were able to find your way onto that computer. That's not like a Radio Shack or anything. That's something.
Can I ask you a question first? And then I promise I will answer yours. The email you sent after you and I talked, was it anything pertaining to me or what was going on with the system?
I didn't send an email.
Your account did.
Oh, I may have been getting it. I may have gotten an email.
You might want to check that then, because it was probably
shit.
important. Not right now. Let's finish this.
And she looks around and outside and everything. All right. Yeah, you're right.
I have my own meetings to get to after this, so I'm right there with you.
Well, yeah, you've got school. Today's technology day,
Yeah.
right?
It's one of my meetings.
Okay, cool. So technology day's always been fun.
I find it boring now, but to answer your question, because she's sitting next to me, it is my right leg. I knock on the leg which is closer to her. When this happened, I had a lot of time on my hand and a father who didn't care and a mother who was overworked. I fell into the first thing that caught my eye, which was the memory of when I first saw that computer that Halloween so many years ago, and realized just how powerful technology was going to become. And I was in a position where I felt like I had no power, and I threw myself into becoming what I thought was the most powerful version of myself I could be. And that meant going onto message boards, finding out how to access places, how to communicate with people. And little by little, I started by simple things. Logic matrix, I figured out how keys were generated. I figured out, people, simplistic algorithms that people use to generate their passwords. I figured out how to detect and find points of weakness in security systems. Some of it's as simple as picking up the phone, calling someone and saying, "Your internal tech support, we're going to change your password. What would you like your password to be?" 90% of people fall for that every time. And as I gained in skills, I gained trust from the people who were teaching me until I started creating my own ways of doing things. And now I hacked into one of the most technologically secure organizations on the planet at the moment and set up a worm to deliver information that should be hitting Tokyo news right about now for the evening news in Paris morning in about 2 hours.
And she sits for a second and she shakes her head and she looks at UC and she goes, "Regardless of whatever anything happens, I do want you to know that I love you and I've never not loved you. I've just been terrible at expressing it. And I've been a terrible person." Hold on a second.
We're all terrible people sometimes.
Hold on. I'll be back in a moment. And she heads down the hall to the bathroom. And when she does, a couple of people come in that kind of look around. And one of them starts heading down the hall to the bathroom and comes back to the guy and shakes his head no, and they step out and they go out into the fog, into the mist.
Do they look like G-men?
Maybe. And you wait for a little bit, and you wait.
You might want to go see if she's in the bathroom hiding or something.
Yeah.
She's been trying, though. She actually has been.
Sure. And I get up and walk away from the table, go down to the bathroom.
And at the end of the hall, you see that the screen door to the outside where they take the garbage out, the door is kind of like open and in the wind, like.
I check the women's bathroom.
She's not in there.
When C is gone, I am checking the case that the doctor left.
Oh shit!
Or did she grab that for her when?
It is the first time you've ever seen a really powerful laptop computer. Like some crazy stuff.
I shrug that into my bag real quick because I have just a giant old, army issue rucksack for a backpack. So I'm tossing that right in there real quick before anyone else can see.
Okay. see her where you come out of the bathroom and you don't see her in here.
Yep. Okay, go back to the table. Sit down, take a sip of coffee.
She's gone, isn't she?
Yep.
You know she wasn't running from you, right?
No, I saw those guys just as much as you did, and
That
her
Matt-
brain was half out the door because of it, so...
That matters in this instance. She wasn't abandoning you. She was probably trying to protect you in this instance. You know that.
Oh. I think she wanted to try and convey what she felt because she's afraid that it might be the only time.
Progress. Little as it is, but more than I ever got from my father.
I mean, she was never bad. And I understand in her thought that if she never hit me, then that meant she did something better than her own family.
It's better than what my father did.
She just never thought of how doing the opposite could still be negligible.
I mean, abuse is its own, and neglect is its own kind of abuse.
Yeah.
But she also left, and Adrian is now starting a little bit paranoid. Adrian's looking around a little bit. She also
Do we need
left,
to go? Should we?
I think we need to go. I have a really important. What is the time for my meeting, Scott? Because that would have been.
He didn't give you a time. He said he would.
You just give me a room?
He didn't even give you the room. He said he would find a room.
Okay. I have to be at school today, but I really don't want to be at this moment because your mom. I think your mom gave us something during this meeting with her.
Mm. So maybe you shouldn't be hanging on to that if whatever you're meeting could potentially take that away.
I'm going to make sure. I'm going to give you the bag.
Okay.
The issue is I don't know if anyone else knows how to use it. So fingers crossed that my meetings doesn't leave me out in handcuffs.
I glance around because the diner's coupled with the record store, right?
Across the
It's
street.
across the street.
Yeah.
But the
So
record store is not going to be open for hours.
Yeah.
right. So I mean, the
Might be able
other
to
option.
find somebody.
Yeah, you probably could. So if I go out in cuffs, find someone. If you can't, I take a napkin and I actually write out the direct email to Psychopompous.
Okay.
I hand that to Sia. If you cannot find anybody as a last resort, I don't want to include him if you don't have to because I don't actually trust him. Last time he tried to set me up for a job, it was a sting. But he's still the best at what I do that I know. Contact him, and I write down my actual handle, 13 hashtag, bar hashtag 000 1, which is the full. Tell him that I sent you. That I told you to contact him and tell him that you have a golden key to Crafta.
All right.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but if it does, it does.
Well, let's hope the fates are in our favor.
And we're going to.
I don't want to go to prison.
And we're going to cut to.
No, that's it.
You arrive at school. Yeah, you mean jail? That was fun. And just like magic, you all arrive at the front doors of the school nearly simultaneously. It's the first foggy day that you've seen in a long time, probably a couple of years. It doesn't happen very often. And
Really gotta stop being like this, guys.
Yeah, this is
Keeps
weird. I don't like it.
happening.
I had totally meant to come late and it still didn't happen, so.
So, anything to report?
I'm gonna enjoy while we can.
Yeah, I mean, talked to Mom. She apologized about infidelities, asked Adrian a couple questions. Some stuff that maybe we should be mindful of saying around people as I'm sort of like glancing around.
Right. Important question.
Yeah.
Did you ask your mom how she felt?
How she felt? Well, she sort of ran out of the diner before we got into more conversation.
Not a bad reason this time, actually.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, again, maybe something that can be explained in a more private situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you get to the doors, and the doors are glass, and you're looking in, and you see this little short woman in a green dress with like a pretty black hair. But this woman is shaped like a square, walking into school, holding a little sign with little tiny hands
Oh no.
that say
no.
robotics. And
No.
Ruben, you
Oh,
recognize
no.
the dress and wig.
Oh no.
think we all do.
No.
All do.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Who's
just run and just grab and
No.
just like I'm gonna like run and just tell them like let's go. Hey, let's go
Run
just somewhere we know we can be like with privacy in the campus, like somewhere we know what's gonna be right now.
Well, you
We're
go and
like-
open the door,
Who's the old
And-
lady?
Okay, I'm gonna yeah.
and you all arrive at school, and there's a magnetrine vehicle outside, and you're like, oh my god, a magnetrine, that's so cool. And they actually have it
Dude.
hovering over the football field with a stairway, like an airport stairway up, and you know they're going to let people go up in the magnetrine today. That is the coolest
They haven't
thing
had a
ever.
They haven't had a magnetrine in what, 2-3 years?
Yeah, been a while.
That's so cool.
How'd they afford that?
And
I'm going to Magnetrine first, and I just start running towards the
and you open the door.
We still have to check in the cloud. Never mind.
And there's a little dumpy square robot walking down the hall with a sign that says robotics. And there's a person down the hall, like a woman with a computer on a cart. It says computer programming. And all through the school, there's all these cool, like, these are the only cool people in the whole city, probably, all in one place. Talk about all the amazing things that are done out of.
I don't see any pro wrestlers here. Or Mr. Miyagi. So I don't know if all the coolest people are here.
And there's a
Or
girl
Jerry
handing
Rice.
you a piece of paper, each one of you. Here's your rooms where you know where everything is, and each room is assigned a different topic. And you know that on Technology Day, unlike every other day, there is no class. You just go from room to room and meet all the cool people and have fun with all. Like, if you love robotics, you can hang out robotics. If you want to do DNA research, you can hang out with biologists and do that stuff. And it is just the best day that you could have, especially as an 11-year-old or 12-year-old or whatever ages you're at.
Well, I guess there's a lot of things to see, so we should get moving.
Where shall we start?
Riker's in line for the Magnetrain already.
Hunter would have raced you. It's just like,
Riker.
no, me first.
No.
I guess the Magnetrine.
I suppose
Ruben,
so.
where do you want to go, buddy?
Yeah, Magnetrine, that'll be fine. We can yeah.
I mean, get it out of the way. I want to go and talk to the marine biologists. I really want to talk about that.
Oh, Scott,
Yeah.
this is post leg, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go look at the coding.
Okay, did you need any help getting there, or are you good?
My mom finally got the balance right on it, so I should be okay.
Okay.
Do you want at least one of us in case I know it's
I
still
can,
getting
yeah,
used to it?
I can lend a shoulder. That'd be fine.
I mean, if you don't mind, just in case I need it. I don't want to take you away from what you want to do, though, dude.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and Adrian's still getting used to the how to walk with the 30 pounds of metal strapped to his side.
And as we're walking, he's going to ask you, so what makes you interest you about coding? I didn't know you were into that.
It's a new discovery of what I like. He says, is he still against just getting used to it? There's so much you can do with it, and I feel like that with how I am now, the opportunities I can find there are better than what I had before.
Like, what kind of stuff can you do with it? I really don't know.
So something really cool that you can do is I've been talking to people all around the world because, for a while there I was stuck in the hospital, and the hospital was the Loop Hospital, and it was connected to a network, and so the network lets computers talk to each other, and I've been talking to people in Tokyo, Sweden. I've been talking to people all over the place. Being able to make connections like that, I think, is really cool.
Oh, that is pretty wild. I mean, wow, and to know it can be so
I
connected.
mean, I don't know them, and it's like those things we have to be really careful, of course. But it's
like stranger
we
danger.
all love, yeah, kind of. I mean, it's everyone's you don't use your real name. I'm not Adrian on there. I'm I'm still trying to figure out who I am on there, but it's not Adrian. And it allows me to be someone else for a little bit.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Huh.
Yeah.
And I assume we just walk into it, and he'll stay
like
he'll yeah.
You meander from room to room, whichever rooms you want to go to. A lot of kids actually visit every room at some point, and they stay in some longer or shorter. And there's students that they take a little ticket from you when you go in, and that they're using it that Dart and the Loop people, they use it to kind of get a tally on the number of people that are interested in different things more than other things. So they kind of use it as a way of tracking what the kids like. Kind of anonymized, though. There's no nothing that has a number. It's just so they can get an idea.
Once I'm sold, Ruben, if you want to go somewhere else, feel free to go somewhere else, man. You don't have to stay with me for this. I mean, enough people here are finding help. I can get it. I just want to have you trained to me. That's all.
I never feel like I'm trained or have to help. So it's fine. I mean, it's relatively. I mean, there's people everywhere, so not many spots to kind of So it's fine.
Okay.
And as you're going in, Riker, Mr. Carlisle is walking past. He's like, "Don't forget tomorrow there's a quiz. I want to make sure you actually pass something this year. Might be good for your parents to see you succeeding." And he just keeps on walking. Like, that guy's just like the oldest curmudgeoniest teacher that the school has.
I can never win with him. Ugh. He doesn't like my dad, right? And he's mean to me because of it.
Why doesn't he like your dad? Your dad's awesome.
I don't know. They don't tell me anything. I think they went to school together when they were kids or something. I don't know.
Oh, like your dad is trying to get revenge, like in Karate Kid, Karate Kid 2, when Mr. Miyagi's teacher was trying to get revenge.
So who was going out to the Magnetrine vehicle?
Hunter and me.
Yeah, I think the rest of us
Okay.
were.
Yeah, we're
Everyone
following.
but Adrian and Ruben. Okay.
I totally
Yeah.
beat Riker.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, huh? My foot touched it first.
And you're
No.
you're in line. You're about 8th or 9th, and as soon as you arrive, you see the line just turn into this, like just a line that goes way back to
You're
the school.
welcome. Welcome, guys.
Oh, that's a good idea to do this first.
Adrian and Ruben, you're heading to the room where the computer program is, and there's a room that says bioengineering. And when you look in the window as you're going by, Adrian, you recognize Mr. Kalinsky, who is the person who works on your prosthetic and makes sure that it operates as well as it can here. They didn't install it; was put in Europe, but
Right.
he's the engineer here that handles your maintenance,
I wave at him through the door.
and he's talking to other kids. He doesn't even notice you. You just
Yeah, it's fine. I just still wave as I walk past.
okay. And you get to the computer area, and Ruben, you see all this computer programming stuff, and it's confusing, and it's really mathy. There's a lot of math going on in there. Is Ruben really good at math?
I mean, Ruben, like I would say he's not a genius, but he's like, yeah, he's not like the worst at math. Like he does fine in his classes. So, but he doesn't know anything about like any of this kind of stuff. So this is all super new. So just like, whoa, okay, yeah.
And they're in there talking about programming and how it's the future of the world is going to be online, and they walk you through these presentations that are really impressive. They have like slides that fade between each other. I mean, in these square block fades, not like a movie fade, nothing that impressive. And sometimes type will kind of fly up on the screen, like go the other way. And it's really like chunky type, like 5 frames per second.
But it's cool as hell in the 80s.
I'm gonna lean over and just be like, so you're gonna be able to do stuff like this?
I can do some of this stuff already. Not a lot of it, but I can make type move around a page like that if I want to. It takes me a little bit, but I can make it do it. That's again, the stuff like that. This is where everything's gonna be in the future, and I think if I can get ahead of it now, even while I'm missing part of myself, I might be able to find something doing this.
And along one wall, there are all these different computers. They're all turned on, and they have like games loaded up and programs loaded up, and you're allowed to just kind of walk over and try them. And each one has one of the college students there to help you with whatever it is you need to learn and do. There's everything from a Radio Shack TRS-80. I think that was around then, or maybe it was an earlier model. I'm not sure. And like a Franklin clone of a Radio Shack TRS-80, and then a Wang computer, and there's an Apple Plus, and then a Commodore. And next to that is this one computer that is from a company called Sun Microsystems, and nobody's even looking at it because it has no games. It just has a text interface, but that computer looks bigger and probably.
That's the one that Adrian goes up to.
And Ruben likes because there's no one around it too. So Ruben's like,
Right.
"This is nice."
And the student sitting next to it is like, we don't have any games on this.
I'm looking for programming power, not for games.
And he kind of shakes his head for me. Really?
Yeah, I can do some basic stuff, but I'm always wanting to learn how to do more.
And do you know anything about Unix?
Yeah, it's the base system for going forward, and I think that's the one that future systems are going to be based off of.
Oh, and Ruben, this conversation starts in a way that sounds like English.
Mhm.
Very quickly does not become English.
Within about 5 minutes, you realize Adrian is lost in a conversation he'll never get out of. They're doing computery things, and it's no longer the same language. They're talking about BSD and things that don't even make sense to you. And they're actually they're just typing. And they seem to be
Adrian is
enthralled with
excited.
it. And there's not
Ruben loves
graphic.
this moment.
There's no graphic on anything. It's just text. So
Well,
unimpressive.
Ruben loves this. He loves this moment though because he sees Adrian really starts to like get into it. Like not as basic makes it now, but I feel like it's the beginning of that sense of excitement in Adrian, and so he notices that, and that's cool. And then the sound's just kind of like white noise, and he likes his attention's not on him, and so he can kind of be there and almost be invisible, but still like get to see like his friend like do something cool that he's into. So
why can't we use a why do we have to use a semicolon here? Why can't we use a colon break?
And he explains whatever it is.
Yeah.
Out at the Magnetrine vehicle, you all arrive at the front of the line. And the kids in front of you, they took so much time. What idiots. They just ate up the time. It was almost like waiting for a Disney ride. Finally, you get up there, and they're like, come on up. And you get to the top, and you have to kind of pull yourself up like you're climbing in a helicopter.
I turn around and I offer my hand to anybody who wants to take it.
Okay.
To either any of you guys.
Finny will take it. Yeah, she'll take it.
And you get in, and this thing is not like a flying vehicle you've ever
I
seen.
put my hand out and go, ha, psych!
And leap up. In the
Sia, you wanna hand up?
And I just like leap up. I'm good.
Cool.
and this is a big Magnetrine. It's like a small building size. And it just sort of floats there. It doesn't move in the wind. It is just like locked in like a floating thing. Well, what do you want to see first? Do you want to see the bridge? Do you want to see medical? Do you want to... I mean, we have all kinds of departments. It's like a ship. No weapons. I'm sorry. We're not a military ship.
I want to see how fast it can go. I bet Riker that it can go 50,000 miles per hour.
No, it will go, though, about 80 miles an hour.
Ha! As I turn towards Riker.
Yeah, Magnetrine ships aren't built for speed. They can just lift incredible amounts, and they can just stay static and still at any time. So,
Riker jumps to see if is there any shifting or...
No, there's nothing. It's like cool. It's sitting on the ground. It's like that stable. All right, let's why don't we take a tour? And they walk you through, and there's a medical area where it looks like a hospital in this area, or a doctor's office, at least with some hospital-y equipment. And there's actually medical professionals in here who answer all your questions. They take you to the bridge, and it looks like a ship bridge from like a military ship with all these weird dials, and it's nothing like an airplane. It really is a very different kind of experience. And they even take you back to the engines, and the engines are almost quiet. These don't make, like, you think of a car and like, oh, it makes all this noise. There's almost no sound, just a little hum. Just like
It's like they're inspired by Star Trek or something.
Or Star Wars.
And they explain to you how it uses the magnetic field of the Earth as both power and guidance for travel. So we're actually sitting on a magnetic field that the Earth is providing. We're not even doing much of the work. We only do the work whenever we want to get a little movement. And the Earth gives us that too. It's really kind of amazing. It's the power of geoenergy. And in fact, you should check that out when you go downstairs. The geoenergy department is going to be doing amazing things in the future too. They're already doing amazing things. And they walk you around all of it, and you meet all these people. And the ship is actually manned by about 30 or 40 people. Like a little ship. There's a brig, not a brig, I forgot what it's called, a mess where people, they have food and
Galley.
yeah, galley.
Galley.
And there's food in there. They say, if you want a little fruit, have some fruit. And, you know, it's like for the kids, they put out all the foods that you like that are healthy. And
I'll take food.
and there's fruit and juices, juice boxes and stuff like that. And the magnetron is really cool. But it doesn't go anywhere, so it is after a little while it becomes a little less cool.
Boring. Yeah,
it's kind of like walking around in a museum, you know. You're like, yeah, it's cool for a little while, and you're like, all right, I'm done.
I want to go see if there's any. I want to go see if there's any like.
And there are a couple robots walking, being utilized in the ship.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of bored. It's not moving. I want to go see if there's any like strange science fiction kind of stuff here at the school.
Think they'll have aliens?
I don't know. Maybe somebody's studying aliens, but I don't know. Let's see if they got some weird stuff.
Maybe they made lightsabers.
Do you think we can play on the magnetic field?
We're already on it.
I mean, we're kind of on it, but I don't think you can just step out, and I think you'll fall. So.
And somebody comes over. That's not true. You can step out if you're wearing the new boots they've been working on. Allow you to walk on the magnetic field, but they're experiments. They're experimental, but they're pretty amazing. What?
You have a pair for me to try on and use?
No.
Me too.
At the moment, but I can tell you, it's kind of like walking on air. It's
How
really cool.
high do you go?
You can adjust the height. There's a dial on it that you have with a remote control, and you tell it how high, and then you just keep walking, or you stand still even. Pretty amazing stuff.
Like float up? You just float up?
You can dial to go up. You can only go so far with it. It won't. It has limitations set, so you can't, walk to the moon. Might take a little too long.
What department do they build that in? Like those shoes?
Engineering. In magnetron engineering. Which there's somebody presenting down there today, I think, showing a little bit off. Magnetics engineering. All right, and you finish up on the ship, and you head down, and at your walk around, and there's robotics, and there are robots walking all through the school. Like there's this big 3-legged robot that is a maintenance robot, and it barely fits in the walkway, and kids can walk underneath it, and when it takes a step, it makes sure there's no kids near, and then it's like a tripod walking. And then there are other robots just all over the school, like just doing the things you expect robots to do, carrying things around, answering simple questions. One is playing chess with a kid. And
I just like go under the tripod one, and then if it tries to move, I just move.
it doesn't move while you're under it. It stops and it's like
I step out.
And then it will lift its foot and move forward a little bit. It has
I go back.
And it stops mid step. Like its foot doesn't go down.
And then I try to test the threshold, so I'll lean out from under it.
And one of the robotics engineer that's with him says, "You won't get it to trip. It's got a gyroscope. It can balance on one foot from almost any angle. That thing's crazy. If you're interested in robotics, they're in room 212. Are you interested in robotics?
You gotta build your own C3PO.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah, C3POs are coming. That's for sure. We can definitely, coupled with some good programming. Oh my gosh, I'm sure we're going to be having robots that are translators.
R2D2's a better companion, though.
We could already make robots go boop, 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 boop.
You should go into engineering and see if they have lightsabers and if you can build your own robot.
Where are we going next?
I mean, let's go to engineering.
Okay, let's go.
I want to see magnet boots and robots. Let's go.
And you get into engineering, and there's a couple kids in there already, and they say, come on in, take a seat. We'll get started as soon as you're all in. And he steps out, sees if there are any more, and closes the door. He doesn't close the door. He leaves it open. and he starts showing ventilation tunnels that connect across the landscape, and says we draw water in from Lake Mead. It's pulled in down. We're set a little bit lower than the water level of Lake Mead, or we pull it up when we need to, and it's pumped into the cooling towers and releases steam as that cools down the loop whenever it's doing any kind of experiments or testing. The physics department, the particle accelerator, anything they're doing. So the access ports are dotting all over the landscape, and he shows you these pictures of these big round doors with a kind of a wheel that you turn to open them. And we can get in and out of these when we need to do maintenance. The big robot you had seen outside, they're the ones that do the maintenance to the outside of those or install them. They blend into the landscape almost perfectly once you let a little bit of the grass grow and what have you. And he shows a video of a field with cows and these robots kind of walking over and doing maintenance on these things. And you can see it kind of going down, and it has little arms underneath it that can lift and turn and screw bolts into things and work with tools. And it's pretty cool. So, and on the screen it says Beta Zone 13, and the robot goes over and is mounting a door with a big 17 on it, and it's locking it down, and in the distance you see the city, and it's not even that far from the city. And actually the building, you can see that there's the police station. You recognize that building, and you recognize there's like a junkyard over there, and these you're like, my gosh, that's like right over there, like not even far. You could walk there. It's so close. And he goes, and we have these dotting the land all the way around, blah, blah, blah. And he goes into this whole spiel on the engineering that goes on in allowing this science to operate, and the cooling systems and the maintenance tunnels, and how they have people and robots that are constantly running around adjusting things. And every time there's a new experiment, they have to make adjustments to many of the different assets of the loop. Any questions? Well, he answers questions. And yep.
My dad, he's a firefighter. He wears number 17. He works in one of the sectors, I think.
He worked in Sector 17 then. So you saw the robot on the screen, right? That was the end of Sector 17. It runs through Beta Zone 13. Beta Zone 13 is a ringed area, or rings. The beta zones are rings around the loop, but the tunneling systems, they're secured from the inside out, so they kind of reach and stretch across them. It's pretty cool, though. I mean, what's your father do inside them?
He's a firefighter, so using, I guess, helps to make things sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, our firefighters are a little bit more than firefighters. They're almost like Navy SEALs. They can do almost anything when you need to. They can fight fires. They can close the ports when there's floods. They can rescue people when they need to be. There are places that only they have access to get medical help whenever they need to bring it in. And they even have a couple robots that will help them out sometimes too, just for their needs. Like if there's ever a tunnel collapse, they have a robot that can go in and find if there's anybody injured, that help get them out, that kind of stuff. So cool. We're very proud of our firefighters and our emergency personnel. They're the best in the world. So
I agree.
Sounds like you have a great dad.
Yes, I do. I think here, if there's anything else I'd ask, but yeah, go ahead. Somebody else has something.
And you go through all the robotics. The robots are cool and everything. And you get through the day and you meet.
What does this one do? What was a robot?
Well, that robot, we're teaching it to try and understand how to use different tools.
What does this one do?
And he tries to explain each one at a time, and he does.
Yeah, and
But
like
it gets
it's just like
exhausting.
in that faction, just like he'll like explain it, Hunter gets immediately bored and like looks for the next most interesting thing. It's just like, but what does this one do?
And they really, even though they get exasperated, they don't deny answering questions. Like, ever. Yes,
Where's the lightsabers?
they're in the future.
There's
know,
just
I
a sigh.
But I will say that there is a very powerful laser inside the loop.
What's the
Is
laser?
it a Death Star?
No, not that powerful.
Okay.
We use it for blasting particles and studying the nuclear residue when they are torn apart by the power of the light.
Why? What are you trying to understand?
The
What's a
universe. What?
They're like, how old are they?
11, 12,
I don't think she'd know what a particle is.
maybe not.
She's like, what's a particle?
I think we learn about that next year.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should go talk to the physicists in the physics department, and they can tell you all about particles.
Oh.
Where's the laser kept?
It's in the loop, one of the near the cooling towers, actually, because it gets really hot.
And you need to bring the water. Is that why we get fog in the town? Is it like the cooling towers are being used? Does that cause like the fog to roll in?
No, I mean it releases steam whenever it's used, but it doesn't create fog. It doesn't create its own weather system or anything. Volcanoes do that though. They create their own weather.
So you're saying when we get fog in town, it's from a volcano?
No. And you finish up going through the whole thing, and you open the door, and you see Tick Tick in front of you, walking the hall in a dress and wig, holding a sign that says robotics,